Hi there, my name is Tim Dreher. I'm a physical therapist, but I also teach Pilates. And so when we talk about core stabilization, it's really not just the stomach. There's 4 areas of core. The first one is, yes, the stomach. So to find that muscle, you're going to put your hand on your belly button. You're going to very gently take the belly button, suck it in, and tuck it up underneath your ribs. So it's a suck in and tuck under. That's one way to work the core. Or another way to think about it is as if somebody were to want to punch you, that you're just tightening up your stomach to make it strong. Either of those techniques are good. What we don't do, however, is a pelvic tilt. So when you're sucking your stomach in, we don't move the pelvis, we just bring the stomach in. So that's the first area. The second one is your glutes. Gently squeeze your buttocks together. The third area is the perineum. It's the front. It's a Kegel muscle. You'll gently squeeze in the front pelvis. And then the fourth one is the shoulder blades, where so many of us are hunched and we have our shoulders up. You want to take your shoulder blades and bring them back and down. So if you could imagine a point that is about 2 inches above your belly button and 2 inches deep inside of your body, all 4 of those areas point to that area. So you'll take your belly button and bring it up to that point. Take your perineum and gently draw it up. Your glutes, draw it to that point. And then your shoulder blades back and down into that point. Once all those muscles are engaged, now we begin strengthening and challenging. So the first one we do is a simple marching. You're going to have your hand on your belly, and can you raise one knee up without your belly pooching up? And we're going to alternate back and forth 5 times on each for a total of 10. And once you feel your belly starting to pooch up, or your back rounding away from the bed, that is your cue that you've worked it too hard and you need to stop. Because once you start to use the wrong muscles, you're just creating bad habits. So this is our first exercise, marching, 5 times on each for a total of 10, starting out with 1 set and progressing to 3 sets. Our next one is up, up, down, down. We'll take one knee up. Here's the hard part. Now bring your other knee up, drop one foot, and drop the other. So it's up, up, down, down. We'll continue. And again, if you feel the belly stick out, the back arching, if you start to feel your shoulders tensing up, perhaps your low back muscles are starting to tighten up, that's your cue that you're starting to work too hard. And that's up, up, down, down. A variation of that, if that's too difficult, we'll start with both knees in your chest. And you're going to take one toe and just tap it down and then bring it back up. Your therapist will put their hands underneath to make sure that you're not tightening up your back. Or perhaps you're tightening in your neck and will cue you to not do that. And those are probably the most common exercises for core. Now if you want to add a little bit more bang for your buck, we can go ahead and put your hands up against the wall. Gently pretend to push the wall down. By pushing down, that creates great core stabilization, not just of the transverse abdominis, but now of multifidus, rotatorius, and all the other muscles of your core. From there, you can continue any exercise that you were doing, for instance, the up, up, down, down. And now let's go to the next level. So once this becomes too easy and you can do 3 sets of 10 like it's nothing, now we can start the bicycle. So we'll start with both knees in, and we'll go halfway down so the heel is skimming along the bed. And then as long as the belly doesn't pooch up and you don't tighten up, you maintain your core, the legs can go fully all the way down. Now as you do this, I'm just going to continue to talk. Let's talk about the history of physical therapy. Back in okay, maybe not. And that's probably as much as you would do for core. One exercise that sometimes comes up in a class that we're not big fans of, we're going to have both your knees up in the air. This is the one where you try to drop both your legs all the way down and come up. It's an extremely difficult exercise. Most people's belly pooches up. They get all sorts of muscle tensing and guarding, and it's really not beneficial. So if you're going to do this exercise, make sure you're doing it right, but typically we don't recommend it. Probably my favorite for the core, though, getting a little tired? My favorite for the core is what's known as the Pilates circle or stirring the pot. With both your knees in your chest, you're going to pretend you're a nice big Italian grandmother and you've got your big pasta dish and you're stirring the pot. And what you're going to find is it works the front muscles, but now it starts to work the sides. So if you have concerns about your oblique muscles not being as toned up as you'd like them to be, this is a great exercise, 5 times in one direction and then switching in the other. Again, making sure the form is good, and we can always add more bang to the buck. You can do circle and press the hands at the same time to get a really good workout of the core. and then relax. So again, core is usually 10 repetitions, 3 sets. But if at any point you start to feel the exercise is not as good as it should be, stop there, take a rest, and come back to it. Because it's in the strengthening mode, you probably only want to do it 3 times a week. Once you've worked on the core, then your therapist can then start to work on the other muscles that need to be addressed to make sure that you don't develop neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, hip, knee, shoulder, and the like. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call. Thank you and good luck.